Hey, what's up motivators? Taren here. Almost every single runner that I see getting into running makes a lot of the same mistakes that cause them to have a higher likelihood of injury and be less likely to actually reach their run goals, be it just be able to run for a long period of time or prepare for a race. For whatever your goals are, these are the 5 biggest training mistakes almost all beginner runners make that prevent them from reaching their goals. When regular people want to do something personally amazing in an endurance event, they use motive training plans. Whether you're just getting started or you've done several events and want a little more structure to step up your game, we know what it takes to get amateurs to their goals, no matter how big or small. You can accomplish anything you want. You just need a plan designed for the unique needs of people with families, jobs, and a busy life. The motive training method is that plan to get you to the start line feeling confident and across the finish line feeling strong. The first thing I see preventing runners from reaching their goals is what happens in those first few runs. And it's not starting with a run-walk program. When people first start getting into running, it's very difficult on the body. Every single foot strike leads to 7 to 8 times of your total body weight being pounded into your structure. This is a lot for your body to handle, and it's a lot for your body to learn to adapt to. Going out and expecting yourself to be able to run right from the hop all the way to the end of every single run is just asking a lot of your body. Even if it does feel okay to do, it's not something you want to place as a load on your body starting from scratch. You want to ease into the run. So whether you have a very hard time running or a very easy time running, starting with a run-walk program is something that all beginner runners should do. It's something that even seasoned athletes like pro triathlete Ben Canute does. He'll often do run-walk programs just to reduce the load on his body. So if he can do it, why can't all beginner runners? When you're starting out, the best thing to do is to start off with whatever you're able to run continuously in about a 1 to 4 minute time range, and start with about a 1 to 3 run to walk ratio. So if you can run for 1 minute, walk for 3 minutes, and then every single run increase the running by about 30 seconds and decrease the amount of rest by about 30 seconds. And within about 5 to 6 weeks, you're going to be running continuously. You're going to do so with a very light load on your body that your body is going to be able to adapt to without encountering injury. The second problem that I see beginner runners encounter in their training plan is that they just do too much too soon. Endurance in your heart and lungs and the ability to be able to run for a long period of time without stopping actually builds up very quick in your body. But the muscles and tendons and ligaments and all of the structure of the body takes a much longer time to actually build up that durability. So quite often what happens with beginner runners is they feel like they can run, so they go out and start running very long distances, not knowing that it might take their tendons and ligaments and musculoskeletal structure as much as 6 to 8 months to adapt to a running load. So they very often start feeling banged up, feeling sore, and encountering an injury, setting themselves back. In order to avoid this, within the first 6 months of taking up running, do less than you think you need to reach your goals. Hold yourself back intentionally. Feel almost guilty for not working harder, and this is going to give your body a lot of time to build up the strength in order to be able to handle that pounding. The third thing that almost every single beginner runner does once they are able to start running for an extended period of time is they run too hard. Athletes left up to their own devices will almost always run at a pace that feels steady, comfortable, that is challenging enough to feel like exercise, but not so challenging that it's difficult to do for a long period of time. This is otherwise known as zone 3 training or threshold training. This type of training is actually very detrimental to the body to do day in and day out because it's past the aerobic threshold, at which point you start accumulating a lot of lactic acid in your body, and this increases the amount of stress hormones that start coursing through your veins, causing your body to actually deteriorate and not be able to perform well in races or perform well in the days when you want to push hard. Instead, what you should be doing about 75 to 80% of the time is running under your zone 2 threshold or under your aerobic threshold. And we'll link to a video at the end of this video where you can understand exactly how to set up your zone 2 running. But you want to spend most of your runs under this threshold heart rate. That's going to allow your body to be clear of most of the stress hormones so that when you have a fast run day, you can actually push really, really hard, which is going to make those fast runs much more effective, and it's going to make the rest of your runs such a positive, enhancing effect on your body as opposed to this corrosive effect on the body. The fourth thing, which is related to the third point, is that most athletes get into a single speed of running. If you encounter most running groups out there in the world, their hard days are going to be maybe only about 15 to 20 seconds faster than their slow days. The difference between the fast and slow running should be as much as 90 seconds per kilometer or 2 minutes per mile. The hard run should be very challenging and have really fast intervals, and the easy run should be very easy. Quite often what happens with elite runners when they join a new local running program with casual amateur runners is they find that they can't actually run with the amateur runners even though they're an elite runner. The reason for this is that the elite runners tend to run their easy runs even slower than the amateur runners, and then they'll run their hard and fast runs much faster than the amateur runners. This is called polarized training, and study after study after study has shown that this is the best way to be healthy and the best way to reach your goals and enhance performance. Even if your goal is just to finish, this is the best way to do it. The fifth and final training mistake that beginner runners make is not running trails very often. A higher proportion of run time spent on trails as opposed to running on concrete and cement has been associated with a decreased likelihood of injury. The reason for this is that running on trails forces your body to adapt in all different ranges of motion. All the little micro movements and the micro stability movements that you have to actually perform while running across all of those trails are all causing your body to be stronger in more ranges of motion. You're more stable, you're more adept, you have more proprioception and more body awareness. Whereas running on concrete in a straight line is really just one plane over and over and over, so your body tends to atrophy in all of the different ranges of motion that it needs to encounter to be a well-rounded athlete. Running on trails is also very strength focused. It allows your body to build up muscular endurance, so it's going to be less likely to tire towards the end of any event that you want to take on, so you're going to slow down quite a bit less when you get into those goal races that you might take on. So whether it's for health or for performance, running on trails is going to lead to a better outcome. So hopefully you found this helpful if you're just getting into running. If you do want to dive into getting your training dialed in by using heart rate and particularly using zone 2 running to run slow in order to get faster, there is a video up on the screen that is our complete step-by-step beginner's guide to getting into zone 2 running, which is going to allow you to run easier and perform better. Later, motivators.